Hey everyone, I'm Raven Belasco. I'm the author of Blood Ex Libris, which is a genre-blending work of dark fantasy, horror, history, and action-adventure, starring a librarian who meets a vampire you might have heard of, Vlad Dracula, and ends up rushing off on an adventure that includes ancient books, genies, sword fighting, and flamethrowers. I wrote Blood Ex Libris because a lot of the stories I read had vampires being very same old, same old. They were just super-powered baddies with the same obvious weaknesses, and it felt like ever since Anne Rice, nothing really new was being explored about them, except their sensuality or sparkliness. But the older vampire myths and histories have so much more variety and so much more to teach us about these monsters. I wanted to pull in more from their rich past and at the same time move vampires into an unconventional perspective. History is very important in this series, and it starts in this first book. I wanted to get in depth with the history of Vlad. Coppola's film Dracula digs a bit into the real Vlad's life, but they missed a lot of the detail I wanted to play with, especially his brutal rivalry with Mehmet, the second Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. Imagine a modern librarian, totally unprepared for vampires to really exist, or for Vlad to still be beefing with Mehmet, not just the ruthless way they did in the past, but on a whole new vampiric level, and for her to be caught in between. That's how Noosh, short for Anushka, gets pulled out of her boring old life and into one entirely over her head. I should mention that I created a fantasy language for this series, so everyone who likes that aspect of Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones will love the depth of world building in the Blood and Ancient Scrolls series. I wrote this book for everyone who loves vampires and wants something fresh. I also wrote this book for people who think they don't like vampire novels. I think vampire novels should be full of fascinating history, superhuman sensuality, amazing fight scenes, and such a captivating darkness that you can't look away.